Hey everyone, good evening. Before we start and get into the actual part of the pod, we just wanted to start things off and say we know that the world is in a really crazy place right now, and it's important for everybody to know that all of us here at Strange New Pod stand with the people of Ukraine. It's absolutely awful what's happening there. We also stand with all anybody in the LGBTQ community, especially these trans kids who are being affected by this bill in Texas, and then the don't say gay bill in Florida. Just know that we stand with you. We stand with everyone. We know it's a really dark time in the world right now. We're hoping that for the next hour and a half, we can help get your minds off of it, get to the final frontier, get a little peace, get a little bit of trek. But just wanted to start with that. With that being said, let's get into it. Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of known space, our amazing jack of all trades, designer, and resident miracle worker, Real Admiral Eric, the Boar Queen of Puns, Lieutenant Brittany, the most handsome stunt double to the man who we're dedicating a whole week to in Jean-Luc Picard, Lieutenant Hawk, and let the theories run rampant. Will she be right or won't she? It's Commander Giraffe. Welcome and glory to you in your houses. How we doing?
Good.
The only frontiers that'll be shed tonight are going to be from my puns.
Get off my.
We'll start it early.
Like the pity chuckle from Julian.
That was 100% a pity chuckle.
Okay.
Let's get. Go ahead, Giraffe. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Can I just say something before we get into track?
Yeah.
About I know some people are gonna be, podcast saying like they stand by this or that. It's not your job. I just want to like drop a little story, a little one. I was running a year ago, something, or maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. It was during the presidential elections, and some guys in a truck with a flag that I will not name tried to impress me and kind of scare me into. They were going to run me over or something like that. And I was scared to death. I was by myself, right? And I was listening to a podcast, and the podcast hosts at the beginning were like, Black Lives Matter, and we stand with you, and, we care about you, and so on. And only that made me not go home and continue my run and get my exercise and go back home. So I'm very glad you did that. Now track.
And it comes from the heart, and I think I don't.
Of the heart.
Oh,
no. I have faith in Giraffe.
Indeed. This is a time for celebration here at the podcast, which is exciting because we want to say welcome to our first ever podcast festival. Officially, it did start earlier today. Captain Picard Week, our week-long podcast festival. I said festival. Cristobal Rios.
Cristobal Rios.
We'll have a festival at the festival. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yes, it's our week-long podcast festival celebrating the life and career of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. We have 12 other amazing podcasts taking part in this special event, focusing on just like a crazy variety of different subjects regarding the Mon Capitaine, as Q would say, from his relationship with Data to his historic diplomatic ventures with the Klingons and a whole bunch of other species. Did we actually say yet that we have a whole show focusing just on Jean-Luc's wardrobe doing a show? I think that's really exciting as well.
Yes.
I think people will believe we're a festival of a lot of surprises.
Oh, hey. And then before we, sorry, what was I going to say? Sorry, it's been a long day. It's cool because we actually already kicked things off earlier this morning with our dear friend Kara and her brand new show, The Star Dispatch. She killed it, by the way. So big round of applause for
She's
Kara.
Great.
She put on
love her.
an amazing show talking about Jean-Luc's very rocky relationship and growth when it comes to the kids, the kiddos, the children, i.e. Wesley Crusher and many others, and leading all the way up to Eleanor in Star Trek Picard. It was a great show. If you haven't heard it yet, after this, if you don't want to join us for the watch along, the replays on Twitch, it'll be on podcast form and YouTube tomorrow. a lot of fun stuff. And I want to open it up to you guys and just ask what are you most excited for to come out of this next week of celebrating Captain Picard?
I'm hoping for some great memes. I'm not gonna lie. I know the podcasts are great, but like we gotta slide some Picard memes in there, you know. Jean-Luc out.
I'm looking.
I want some hot takes.
All your takes are hot.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm looking forward to seeing what people think of season 2, because we're gonna end on that, and especially how divided the first season was for fans. I'll see what the second season brings.
Yep.
I believe in the second season.
Yeah. Nice. Anybody else excited for anything specifically for Captain Picard week?
Oh shit.
I learn a lot
Hold on.
because.
We went down for a sec.
Ooh.
Oh, hold on.
See, I started talking.
We all
that's
gotta
why.
go in our seats.
What the fuck?
You guys aren't joining in.
We are
Come
in
on.
a snowstorm right now in Guelph, so I'm just
This is our
worried.
one chance.
Temporal
Check to see
anomaly.
if it were snowing outside here.
You gotta hold the console.
What,
We're
what
back.
do you
We're
think
back.
now?
We're back.
We're back. Apparently we're back. Okay. So I will say what Eric just said, just in case we do go out a few more times. There's a really bad snowstorm coming or already there in Canada. So we apologize for any subspace interference for tonight's show. But we're here. Captain Picard week. We were talking about Captain Picard week. Exciting. I know I'm excited. A little humble brag here to guest on Duras Sisters podcast on Saturday. We're going to talk all about Jean-Luc's diplomacy, and it's given me an opportunity to go back and watch like some of the best episodes of TNG. So I'm stoked about that. And Hawk, I'm excited to hear what you and Matthew and Jeff all talked about on Trek Untold. So I haven't listened to the show yet. So I listened to like little bits and pieces, but
That's because it's untold.
Mhm.
I'm really
I'm very
tired
excited
this week,
for
guys.
everybody to hear that. It was a great discussion.
Nice. Tomorrow we will have I think at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Trek Central will be going on, and then that evening at 8 p.m. we'll have the Antimatter Pod. So lots of good stuff coming throughout the entire week. It's an exciting time for the podcast. We hope that you're already enjoying it, and we also hope that if this one's successful, we can do something like it again. So here's to that. This week, guys, with episode 410, there are only 3 episodes of Star Trek Discovery season 4 left, with an updated timetable for the DMA's next move. There's no time to lose, as the crew of the Discovery and a team of delegates race to the Galactic Barrier to make first contact with Species 10C. We break it all down, but first, Brittany. We need to thank our patron level people at the Ready Room level and above for supporting the show and making things happen like Captain Picard week.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Oh, we're not thanking the Academy after
it's
the
a joke.
bullshit.
We're
I know,
not.
but after the bullshit they pulled this week.
I know. That was my joke I was
Shit
saying.
lists. Oh,
Our
sorry.
podcast has our shit together a little better than the Oscars and the Academy. So to the categories I'd never remove. Thanks, Simon Staker, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Hui, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernando Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Smick, Amy Grace, Laura Linderman, Reasonable Stranger, who their Mirrorverse counterpart has to be an unreasonable
I would assume
companion.
so.
Colin Davidson, and our newest collective member yet, Susie.
Hey, we have a new patron collective member. Welcome, Susie. Yay. Good stuff, Britt. That's
yeah, they
awesome.
were starting to play that music to get me off stage, so yeah.
They were.
I just had to really draw it out
Was it
at the end
something
as
like
a-
dun, dun,
as a fuck you.
dun, 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 dun.
You need playoff
No, really
music on the
good.
board.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I will get that on there. I'm working on some surprises for when we do our Picard season 1 flashback review thing next week. So yeah, stay tuned. Speaking of Picard, we couldn't do this podcast during Captain Picard week without making the strange new loop something Picard themed. So that being said, I will say it is time for the strange new loop. And with it being Captain Picard week, I thought it would be fun, right? To do a little like what if, not the Marvel series, which has some good episodes, but a little strange new pod what if. We're in the Discovery season 5 writers room. Get those thinking caps on, right? And someone says, you know what? It would be really cool to connect our show. Brittany's getting her actual thinking cap. No.
My cat is getting wild.
Is your cat going to be your thinking cap? Just
I
like
mean,
throw her on the head?
I think she would actually
See what
scratch me in the
happens.
face.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I love her.
So someone says, you know what? It'd be really cool connect our show in some way to Star Trek The Next Generation. We want to do an episode where the crew learns about Jean-Luc Picard and his exploits somehow. What's your pitch and what's your story? Twitch, please feel free to get involved. Looks like everybody's got smiles on their face and ready to go. So I saw Eric smiling the whole time I was saying.
It's because I was thinking about giraffe.
Because yes, we had a pre-show conversation because I didn't read the outline, so Hawk told me what was the loop, and I went no, no, why?
He doesn't want that timeline polluted by
But
Picard.
now I have a suggestion because I don't want to be that person in the writers' room being, no, we're not doing this. So I suggest that Captain Burnham goes to the holodeck and does these are the Voyagers, but like TNG version.
Oh,
Do they
no.
find a way to get Trip Tucker in there and kill him
And-
somehow, even though it's
Yeah,
TNG?
and they kill Trip Tucker in TNG, and it's the season finale
God,
of
You
the
took my
season
idea,
5.
damn it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no!
You guys
Like,
remember during
oh.
trivia when I had no clue because I haven't seen Enterprise? I didn't know that Trip died, and I was like, I hope it's Trip that dies. And you guys were like, oh my god, you're right.
Sorry, Stallion. Your weird friend Giraffe is here.
Giraffe.
That's what she does. She steals
Oh.
things.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Eric.
That's cool.
I
It's
can
so
find
bad.
you.
I was like,
I
here's
can
a
find you
theory, and
another
Eric's like, I worked all week on my thesis.
just like let's work together and make that episode. Like let's write it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. We'll get Franks to come in and be number one. He'll join in the holodeck program and whatnot. Oh my god, it would be great.
Will he cook?
He will cook pizzas the whole time.
I love it. I love it.
I got nothing now.
Now you got nothing. That's all right.
Yeah,
that could be
I
that could
know.
be a combined Eric Giraffe script. I'd read the shit out of that. Hawk or Brittany, do you have something?
Oh boy, do I.
Okay, you go first.
In my season 5 scenario, after all of the stress of the DMCA? What is this thing that's attacking them?
The DMA.
DMC.
Who knows at this
That's-
point?
that's the
They
DMCA
refuse to
strike.
tell. They refuse to tell us
Yeah.
with 3 episodes left.
So, hey, it's getting there. I'm in for the
Hey.
ride. But with all the stress of the DMA, Book succumbs to male pattern baldness in season 5, and the disco crew doesn't know about Picard, but Admiral Vance sits him down and has a little heart-to-heart and lets him know, there was once this great captain called Jean-Luc Picard, and he was bald.
But
And that's it. It's a nice little heart-to-heart.
and then he goes,
Bravo.
but he noticed it early and joined Keeps, and then it becomes a whole commercial for it. Keeps.com if you want to sponsor our podcast. No, no one's seen the Keeps commercials.
I was
That's
really
cool.
proud of that.
No,
I thought it was great.
sorry.
I watch too much YouTube.
That's fair. Hawk, what do you
Julian's gonna
got?
ground us again. He's like, here's reality.
There's no grounding. There's no grounding. We need a laugh tonight.
It's all fiction.
All right. So if we're doing some sort of a connection between Discovery, TNG, I say we go back to one of the greatest TNG episodes ever. Yesterday's
Speaking of getting mine
Enterprise.
stolen. Oh, I'm wrong. Never mind. Okay, continue.
Thought you were gonna say unification.
Me too. And I was like,
No. No, I would do a total Yesterday's Enterprise involving the Enterprise D, and that somehow making its way through a wormhole to the 32nd century.
Would it be a discovery?
Please button. Please push the button. Come on.
I'll mute myself.
I don't have anything else worked out beyond that, but yeah, that would be the only way. Somehow Burnham's got to get the Enterprise D back through the wormhole and that, so that their timeline changes back.
nice. I like it. That's kind of along the lines of Havens, who writes, they break the temporal accords one more time because it's Discovery. Of course they do. Especially if season 5 is the final season, which God, I hope not.
No.
And they rescue Rachel Garrett. Yeah, right. 7 or bust. They rescue Rachel Garrett and Enterprise C, and Picard gives a tribute to Michael after the mind meld with Sarek. Okay. All right.
Maybe I have one.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Let's do it.
So Burnham and Book are on his ship, and Grudge gets into all sorts of, silliness on the consoles, and they end up going back in time, and they meet Spot, and that's how everyone gets together. It's the cats meeting. The cats.
Spot and Grudge, a relationship made
incredible.
over 1,000 years. I love it. I'm gonna read.
I guess you can say they went before.
Do I have this up? Do I? No.
Oh, come on.
No.
It would be different than their day-to-day activities.
Oh, I got to play all the Tawny sound bites tonight because it's her birthday. Happy
I love
birthday,
Tawny.
Tawny Newsom.
Happy birthday.
Ensign Beckett Mariner.
I'll make a tawny of puns for you. No? That was pretty bad.
Kidding me?
There'll be a lot
I
of that
knew
one
some.
tonight.
I knew some puns though.
Okay.
Her
Yeah.
last name.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I was letting the audience know.
Oh.
I'm funny, audience. I'm a funny.
Zendara writes, I want Picard's fish tank to just randomly show up in someone's quarters as decor. Yeah, I like that. Are there any more? No.
Are the
Okay.
little ships in the fish tank because they're broken?
It would be great if in Discovery they
Aw.
just happen to break somebody's ship models or something. They're like, you broke your little ships, and that's it. That's the only reference we get.
Oh,
walking
here's
slowly,
yeah. Go
however.
ahead, Hawk.
Yeah, the crew finds a Reskian flute, and Michael is transported to have a virtual conversation with Picard, and he just shows her how to play. No discussion of Starfleet or captaining.
That would be.
It's just a concert.
Michael needs that kind of break, honestly.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that just for the crazy of it
Right?
and be like, but I would need to be in an, special mindset.
Would they both be playing the flute?
An enlightened mindset.
Exactly, an aligned mindset.
That would just be the episode, right? Them just like playing the flute together in a
Or would it be
Jeffries
a
tube.
flute and a trombone?
With-
What would Michael Burnham be?
Hold on. Oh, Michael.
The lute, the Vulcan lute, right? The lute is called a lute, right?
With a little guitar.
Yeah.
Thing? Yep.
Yeah, she seems
Yeah.
like she'd be a looty gal. She did steal with book a lot. Like, they ran their
That's
smuggling
true.
stuff.
That's true.
So she was a looty gal.
All right. So I'm gonna be a basic bitch here, and I'm gonna go very simple. We've wanted, or at least I've wanted to see Michael, explore more about like what happened with Spock. And the way to do that is you go all the way back and you have her, maybe I feel like the holodeck is so overdone and it would be like one of those These Are the Voyages situation. I think it would be really cool to have her be like just an episode like the Jedi Archives when Obi-Wan goes looking for the missing planet. Like she's in the Federation archives and she's just reading about her brother and it does actual flashbacks, right? Like she's not there with
Master, perhaps it was removed from the archives.
yeah, there you go. with Picard and Spock on Romulus, and then seeing if they had any more interactions through the years. You'd have to do a little bit like de-aging on Patrick Stewart, right? And maybe Ethan Peck would have to be Spock, which I have no problem
I
with.
think they should keep him wrinkly and just no explanation.
No, okay. And then it'd be just really cool to see like, not just Picard, but like, that episode explore, how unification finally did happen after 1,000 years. I think that like a final finale to Unifications Part 1, 2, and 3. I think it would be really deep. I think it'd be really cool.
It's not going to happen because they're gonna blow up Vulcan again.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on.
This theory that you have that we talked about earlier is fucking killing me.
Oh my god.
It's
I still
killing
think
me.
they're gonna have like a unification like 87 down the road. Like I
Yeah,
think it's just gonna
probably.
always happen.
Probably.
What if they unify Navarre and Earth because Navarre blew up? To go off of Giraffe's thing.
I hope not.
I'm gonna say this: if they blow up one of the planets in this show, I don't know if I would watch Discovery anymore. I'm putting that out there.
It'll be
I'm
Earth.
putting that out.
I
there.
don't know. You're a big Trek nerd. I don't think you'd ever stop. You didn't
Exactly.
stop after a baby cried and blew up dilithium. Okay, you are not.
But
going
I
to stop
made
if
my
they blow up the
feelings
planet.
known. I made my feelings known.
Takako
my
said,
God.
"What about Niverth?"
Never.
You,
And I'd
I like
say
it.
Nivar, say Nivar.
and
That's
Chara said uniforcation.
Yes, thank you.
Ooh,
Someone's
there
on
you
my
go.
wavelength.
I like it. I like
I'm
it.
gonna say right now, Navarre and Earth are safe because
They're fine.
basically, if one goes, the other is going.
But
Yep.
the third planet they listed, they're
Titan.
fucked.
Yeah.
Titan, Titan.
Ah,
Come
take
on,
it.
Titans.
Back.
Titans.
Nobody needs
Titan.
Titan.
Titans dust.
Titan getting destroyed is what's going to make Earth re-enter the Federation. There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
Mm.
There you go. Ooh, hold on. Sorry, I just did something in my headphones. Ah.
Walking slowly wrote, "I don't want Earth to blow up, but I can handle it."
I mean,
Mood.
we're all at that point right now.
Hashtag mood.
And then there's the not safe for work version from Takako, unifornication.
Yep.
That's just Ponfar.
That's just that's Saru and Tarina's episode.
Oh man,
I've read enough fan fiction to know that it's gonna take a long time, man. It's gonna take forever.
They
All
get
right,
from there to
guys.
Does it
here.
take you a long time to read it?
It-
No, because I
No.
don't sleep. That's what I do at night. It's
believe
me on AO3 reading
It's like, where's the
fan
trick?
fiction and like
I'm bringing
wondering
in.
You
why
refresh
am
the
I
newest
reading
track.
this?
I'm reeling in the crazy. I'm reeling it in. I'm reeling it
Good
in.
luck, man. It's expanding.
This is the DMA shrinking
We're breaking
and then
through the
coming
barrier,
back. Yeah, we're
literally.
breaking through the barrier. Speaking of the barrier, Brittany, way to set me up. That's why I love
You're
you.
welcome.
We are here to review episode 410 of Star Trek Discovery, The Great Barrier. And Brittany, we are going to start with you this evening. Can you hit it, please?
I was going to say it's actually the Galactic Barrier, but I love that you called it the Great Barrier because I was like, reef.
Did I call it the Great Barrier?
No, it's okay.
Well,
Yes, you did.
Because
that's
I always,
happenstance.
I get the Galactic Barrier and the Great Barrier from Star Trek 5 confused, and they don't do a good job explaining the difference. So I blame Star Trek.
I thought you were making a sea pun. I loved it. Because
No,
what is space?
Sorry.
But the ocean
Of the
10
sky?
outside
seapod?
our world.
The ocean of the
No,
sky.
nobody. Okay,
There's whales in space. There's whales in
I'm
Earth.
Space
trying, and nobody cares.
Did you make a pun and we missed
Oh,
it?
giraffe, I love you.
I like. Oh, you heard it? Yes. No.
I mean-
okay.
No, I love you.
You said a C pun, and I said a 10 C pun, and nobody.
Oh.
You.
And I try in a foreign language, and then I get ignored.
No,
I'm
it
so
was
sad.
good.
Thank you.
10C.
The crew's back together. We're all here.
Oh boy.
We share one
Minus-
brain cell
minus the
as soon as
ensign
we log
admiral of
into
everything.
Zoom, and
Yeah.
usually Julian's holding the brain cell.
It's right here in my pen,
So,
which you can't see.
thoughts on the episode. I liked this episode, although I will say it's not going to go down as one of my favorite disco episodes. Like, I feel like it was mostly like needed for character depth to make us care about Tarka, I guess, and also to like the president a little more. Not that we've necessarily like, hated her throughout the season. It's just like, you start off a little rocky with her and you're like, I don't know, this lady's like pushing the political buttons.
I feel like
But
I'm
by
like the
now.
only person who's never had a problem with her. Like I've liked her from the beginning, but I understand people's feelings towards her at the beginning. To each their own.
Oh yeah,
I
you,
get it.
you were definitely the stand from the beginning where you're like, I like this lady. And we were like, I don't know, man. But we also were like, Vance, he's too good to be true. What's going on there? And thought he'd be like an evil admiral, but he wasn't. So yeah, I liked basically like character moments in this episode. I feel like I really liked. I enjoyed the space gays having their little moment. I really liked Culber talking to Saru and telling him that like intimacy is a universal. I mean, not intimacy. Oh my god, insecurity.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I'm thinking of
Oh
giraffe.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Reading her.
Bring it
Sorry.
in.
Too much fanfic. Too much fanfic.
Too much fanfic.
I've been out of the dating game for too long,
See you.
No, I meant to say insecurity is universal. I really liked when like that specific line. I think is my favorite of the episode because like a lot of people, like I mean everybody suffers with insecurity, whether people admit it or not. You're insecure about something in your life, whether it's yourself or whatever. So I really loved that, and I liked by the end of the episode to see Burnham's like sort of relationship with the president equal that like kind of like a common understanding. Like there's a mutual respect now where I think like there was always some respect there, but there was a lot of miscommunication or not understanding each other. And finally they're just like, we have a common goal and I'll do my thing and you do your thing. And like, that's where we're at. So, I liked it overall. It's just the show's gorgeous and everything. I just feel like this is one of those episodes that
It's a stepping stone.
It works for
one?
the story. Yeah, it's a stepping stone, but like if you were to go back and like binge the whole season in a row, like it'll make sense where it is and why it is, but as a single episode looking at it, it's just kind of like meh.
Yeah.
I end my scene.
Agreed. I'm going to continue off that because I'm
Yes.
next. It's definitely one of those chess piece moving episodes. You're like, okay, well, we're going to get a little bit of backstory from Tarka because Sean Doyle is an amazing actor, and we need to feel a little bit before he dies. In the next couple episodes.
100%.
And his story was wonderful. I liked seeing him and his partner go through the ringer, sort of, I guess. Slowly, like they weren't trusting of each other, and then they slowly became true partners.
Partner, but not in the fun gay way.
Wasn't it? I'm pretty sure
Giraffe and I believe that they were very much
maybe.
an item.
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
decided
for
not
sure.
to imply
Okay.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was implied
I just
when
want
they're
confirmation.
when they're lying together and doing equations,
scrawling
right off
the figures
so
into the
cute.
sky.
It was adorable. I was like,
I
oh.
mean, yeah, lesbians do that. So, sorry, what?
I don't know.
No. I just want to see it confirmed. Tell me, Paramount.
Yeah.
Is it true?
I enjoyed the space cells. That was sort of weird and something I expected on Prodigy because of the magic school bus type thing. But it was neat, visually neat. Really, this episode was okay for me. I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I liked where it was going and I see where they're going. I really like the relationship between Burnham and the president. And I'm sure Saru and the president lady are gonna have some fun, awkward moments on the disco now.
Let's get it
before
on.
she dies.
Right on the meeting room table.
Oh, don't
What?
you.
One of these people, like everyone's on there. I like that one guy that they added, the Asian dude.
Yes.
He's from
Yeah.
a lot of things. I just can't remember his name.
I have it in our tweets. I'll pull it up while you keep talking.
Hiro Kanagawa.
There it is.
He's in so much, and to see him on the show, I
Anyone
was
named
like,
Hero is a
Yeah.
boss.
yeah. And I was not expecting him to be on the show. I did not know he was coming. And
Yeah, I liked his little thing about translators. That was good.
his joke at the beginning when he was laughing. Oh man, amazing. That's all I have. I think it was a good. No Jet Reno.
Yeah.
Reference though. At least they referenced Jet Reno.
Did
What was
they?
there?
Last week's.
Yeah,
I think I watched 2 in a row.
Yeah, I had to watch 2 in a row. My bad.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah.
Hawk, you're up. Oh no, sorry, Giraffe, you're up. Sorry, I read it
Giraffe's
wrong.
up then.
My bad.
I'm
Giraffe.
sorry. I'm looking on AO3 how
I knew
many
you were on there.
fanfic. You saw my face. You knew I was on
Saru
there.
and Serena.
I'm
started
looking
sweating.
Saru. I'm like Saru and Tarina. How many fanfic is there out there right now on AO3? And not enough, guys.
You refresh in
Get
24
writing.
hours. They're gonna be
Come
boardroom
on.
meetings. It's gonna be
What is this?
deliberation.
So
Okay.
come on, nerds. Right. Okay. So my opinion about the episode. I'm breathing in. I have many problems with that episode. Many. Okay, let's start by what I liked. It was beautiful to watch, as usual. The little bubbles were fun. The Galactic Barrier was interesting, not as much as what I expected, but okay.
There's no Gary Mitchell, so it was already a loss. So
There's no Gary Mitchell, and that ship like really took
an ass whooping.
yeah, let's say that. Especially Owoshikun counting. I was like, stop counting, woman. Like, like 10, 9, 8, like the stress of it. So that was fun. But overall, it's such a weird episode. Like, try telling the story of what happens in that episode to somebody. It's called the Galactic Barrier. The Galactic Barrier is like 5 minutes of it. right? And it's bubble hopping, which made me think of the anomalies in Enterprise, and I didn't want to remember this.
I don't even remember what you're talking about. And I like Enterprise.
You know, when they're like in the Expanse or whatever, and like they have all these anomalies that are like bubbles, and every time they get into a bubble, there's like a different thing happening.
I forgot about that.
So yeah, when it goes like, oh, the color change, I was like, do not pull an Enterprise on me. Do not.
Let's just desaturate that for a little bit. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. But then, I don't know, everything is kind of weird. Like, why is Book stupid? Why did you do that to my man? Like, what is happening? That guy is smart. He's a hustler, right? He survived long. He's, you know, he knows what's up. He knows how to read people. And he's just like, oh,
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like when you're very emotional, your brain just doesn't work as well as it should be. Right? Like,
yeah,
okay, but
I just blame
we've been-
anything on the trauma this season.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they've been pulling that too much.
I agree.
At one point, this character needs to come back. I know grief. Okay, like now, like bring him back. We want him back.
Just because he's been a courier for God knows how many years, that like I get grief, but we can still. And everybody works different ways, but like I feel like you can still rely on everything that you've learned, even while you're going through that. And I just feel like it's just been very out of character with him. I'm with Giraffe on this one.
Absolutely. When he finally like pulls a phaser on Taka and be like, it's an emerald chain. I was like, okay, he's back. And no, he's not back. And I'm okay. Taka. So I love Taka. I do like the man because he's the only one that has been steady in being an asshole for like several episodes, and I
will agree with that.
respect.
Yeah.
I respect game respects game, you know, like it's beautiful. And we knew since the beginning that there was something else with him, that, you know, there was a story, that scientist and so on. That should have come before. It's too late. We already knew that this character was like complicated. I would have loved to see that maybe 2 episodes ago.
They should have done it in the episode where Book is telling him about, or Tarka's telling him about him at Federation HQ. That's the spot to do it. We're going to get more into that, but yes, I agree.
I like the story with Oros. That's his name.
Yes.
Oros. Yes. And that's the guy that plays in Supernatural. That now I don't remember his name. Chow. Twitch, help me. He's the prophet. He's one of the prophets.
Ryan from Supernatural?
No, not Ryan. No, he has somebody has Osric Shaw. Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just Googled it.
So, like, his voice was bugging me. I was like, I know that actor. Where is he? Where is he?
He plays Ryan Choi in the DC universe. That's why I said that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, Supernatural girl. Hello. So that was great that he was here. I really like that actor. And too bad, again, it's kind of like superficial. Like, it's kind of like weird flashbacks. Like, they write math on the walls. Can we know where he's from? What is this? And then all this thing about like them being from an alternate universe is basically non-existent. Like, it's just like
is his species the Tensi? Like, we haven't seen that before.
Is it a Tensi? I don't know. I was like, it likes a little bit excitement, some clue, something, some some spice. Bring some spice.
Sometimes a tragic backstory is just a tragic backstory.
Yeah, but they build that character, Tarka, as a guy that has secrets, that has like something in him that is like, and it's a prison camp love story. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's his secret. Maybe he's a very closeted gay. Okay.
He's a ricin. He's not closeted in anything.
Very good point.
I don't know. I still don't like Tarka, really. I was just like, oh, that was neat.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel
like
too.
him, though.
Yeah.
I like seeing Bryce. You know, again, it's nice to see like little like Lieutenant Christopher, like little like insight into the bridge crew. And
apparently, just to interrupt you real quick, apparently this is Bryce's last episode. That was his farewell because he joined the cast of a new show on BET. So that was kind of his goodbye. So
that was his goodbye.
I think that was his goodbye. Yeah, from everything I've read. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was
Well,
Bryce to
so-
know you.
Aw.
Are you BT?
kidding me?
Probably going to a good show. So
Mm-hmm.
it's for the
So
best.
yeah, it's a middle episode. Like nothing happened. They could have built that crossing the barrier in an epic way because I think it's only the third time in Trek that they do that, right?
Third
One
or
in
fourth.
TOS, one
Two
in
in
TNG,
Two in
two in
TOS.
TOS.
Two
They
in
passed the
TOS.
barrier twice.
Twice.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Final
with the
Frontier,
with
right?
the Kelvins they cross it with the Kelvins to try
Oh,
and go, yeah.
And one in TNG and one now. So, like build it up, make it nice, make it awesome. And I have to say, I did not like the interaction between Burnham and the president. I thought it was kind of weird. Like, there are two badasses and they're just like, I hope we're going to do. I don't know. I was not into it. I was not into
Giraffe
it.
is just dunking
I'm
on the
with
whole
you.
episode.
Yeah. No, I'm
They have 3 episodes left. They're dragging the story to a big reveal, and that big reveal better be something cool
Space baby crying.
because I'm hanging
Two
in there,
space babies
guys.
crying.
Two babies.
2 space babies crying. Okay, so that's my rant.
Hawk.
Wow, I'm actually a little shocked this week, and I like this episode a lot better. Especially like last week, we all generally agreed that it was not a good episode.
I
not
like
there were too
last
many
week.
Plot holes.
I did too. This is why
see,
we
you
have
weren't on
like
here.
5 hosts.
Yeah. This week's episode I liked a lot better. First up, we had Kovic back, and he was in rare form in that first with that joke about translating. What was it? Complaint deferment into,
No, it
into
was,
Klingon.
Confirmation bias?
Yeah, it's
Confirmation bias into
Yeah,
Klingon.
confirmation
and that,
bias,
You
yeah.
know, only the
all got it.
xenolinguist got the joke. And then on top of that, he also makes a reference to Gilligan's Island.
He does.
Which Saru completely misunderstands. It'll take
a lot more than 3 hours.
hours.
Earthlings and their jokes.
That and I've decided that at some point I do have to cosplay Kovic in that because
Do it.
I think it would
You
just
should-
be perfect.
You should do
You
half
need to
of
start
you.
growing the hair out.
Do half of you as Kovic and the other half as Picard. Then when you turn side to side would be amazing.
That
And
would
we'll
be
call
really
it the
cool.
duality of man. That'd be great.
If only you were coming to Mission Chicago. We want
We can
Canadians
make
so
it
bad.
okay. Do the cosplay.
Right?
Send us a high def photo of you. Then we can
And
do
we'll
a
carry
print.
you around.
Yeah.
Cardboard
cutout.
cutout.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be my project. To continue, I actually really did enjoy the story of Tarka and Azra. It gave me flashbacks to an old movie, Enemy Mine. It was back from the 80s, and starred Dennis Quaid and Danny Glover in that, about a human and an alien who were stranded together on this world, and eventually overcame everything and became friends.
That's an
Sounds like
episode
my
of
kind of
Enterprise.
Did I miss that?
That's
I remember
definitely an
this movie.
episode of Enterprise. Yeah.
It's a good little movie. So if anybody,
I thought that movie was Starman for the longest time.
Oh, I was about to say I fucking love Starman.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy. It's up there with Contact. I just have to watch it every time it's on TV.
So we were looking for a little bit of backstory about Tarka and that, it's and the fact, we understood the fact that they became friends and that, but we also got that extra little reveal in that towards the end and that about Tarka and why he was really there in that cell with them, which I think was actually really great. And well done, Sean Doyle, in that. Tarka remains one of the most fascinating characters of this season.
He's
No-
really
no
good,
doubt.
and Sean Doyle is an
Really good.
amazing actor. And I don't know him from The Expanse because I didn't watch it, but like he's awesome. I'm digging him so much. Like
You
the
have
actor.
to
Why?
understand, Julian.
One day.
So what else? We got Adira has returned to the fold.
Hey.
And as far as the traveling through the Galactic Barrier and that, actually, that was probably one of the most tense moments of the episode for me. In that, seeing like the Discovery get whipped around in that and having to, straighten out its bearings. I found that I actually really enjoyed the intensity of that scene.
Mhm.
Overall, it was a vast improvement. Yes, it was one of those episodes where it was like moving the pieces into place and that for the last three, which will hopefully give us, a huge surprise and a redemption for last season's finale. We hope.
I've been
Well,
trying to remember what was last week episode for 10 minutes, and now I
It
remember. That
took me
tells
like
you.
5 minutes earlier.
I was like,
Yeah.
what
Don't you
happened
remember?
What
last
happened
week?
last week? Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. This is my least favorite episode of the season. It was not good. It just and I'm gonna actually do a really horrible job articulating this because it's been said better already in like articles, and I'm going to give a shout out to Alex Perry from Trek Core, who wrote a really great article on why this episode is so troublesome. A lot of that is the same reasons I believe it, which is this is really scary to the point that there's 3 episodes left, and we are at the same spot we were last season with Discovery. We should have seen the 10C by now. It's not good that we still haven't met them. Like they're supposed to be the big villain of the season, whether they end up being a villain or not, who knows. The fact that we still don't know anything about them with 3 episodes left is really scary because last season's finish was just not good.
Last season, didn't we know by then that it was something to do with Calpian? They had solved the
And
thing
like
already.
I think it was like the next episode. I think like with 2 episodes
Yeah.
left.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was episode
when they
11.
see the
So, yeah.
message.
Yeah. The whole tension between the president and Michael was completely unnecessary. Like I was telling this to Karen, like I thought that
Agreed.
beef was squashed when Navarre rejoined the Federation. Like they had their moment and they talked there, and I was like, all right, they get each other. That was unnecessary, which is actually why I really loved the end where they did come together. I'm like, okay, this is just how it should have started. The whole Great Barrier thing was extremely underwhelming just because you know that they have to get through. That's where the show is going. You have to know that they're going to get through. So there were no stakes to it. Nothing was ever going to happen. The giant orange balls really took me out of it. Yeah, that's what they were. They were giant orange balls, and they were big pieces of plot armor, and I hated them.
But they were floating through them like
they were
in Finding Nemo. Like surfing
Exactly.
the
It's like the
Yeah.
Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, it's just like
See?
I didn't.
They just went with the flow, dude.
No,
Yeah. And then
Give me some
the
Finn,
whole
bro.
me and Draft I think were just chatting about this the whole time this morning because we rewatched the episode together, and the book, even going through grief, is like one of the best characters ever written in Star Trek, and he had such an amazing start to the season. And to see what happened last week with just like letting stupid things happen aboard your ship, which you know inside and out, and then the whole thing with Tarka. Listen, like with 3 episodes left, I don't mind doing the flashbacks, but they took up so much time of this episode. We need to see the 10C. Like we need to know what's going on. And I cannot believe, even though they're like, oh, well, the DMA has moved to the Alpha Quadrant, and it's Earth and Titan and Navarre could be casualties. And I'm like, there's no stakes. That's never going to happen in the series. And listen, tell me I'm wrong in 3 episodes, and I will gladly admit it, but I just don't ever see them going that route. It would make no sense, and I think it would piss off a lot of fans. And every article I've seen and everything that went through my head today is that these last 3 episodes of the series basically have to be perfect. Otherwise, you end up with a situation from last season, and it's really worrisome. And yeah, those and I want to kind of take my thoughts into our first like deep dive into this episode. This show takes a risk by spending so much time with those flashbacks and trying to make us feel something for Tarka, which I think would have been more valuable a few episodes ago. Did this work for you guys? I know a few of you already mentioned maybe it did, maybe it didn't.
Like I liked seeing this like little glimpse into his backstory. I think it makes him a slightly more interesting character because like I just don't care for him because he's like an Elon Musk stand-in.
Mhm.
But I do feel like finally he feels like less of a caricature to me and more like of a separate character from like being an Elon Musk stand-in. So in a way, I guess it kind of made me see him in a better light, and I was just like, oh, cool. I can see him as a Star Trek character now, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't like him anymore. I still think he's a complete dick.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, he's a dick who suffered tragedy. Cool. I don't think it was like I didn't really care when we saw this. I don't think it would have changed my view on him whether we saw it earlier
That's
on
a good
or
point.
not.
Yeah.
But I still liked the flashback. I liked the acting in it. I thought everything was fantastic. But so yeah, I'll say it did work. I just don't care about him.
I really like Tarka in general. Like, I've liked him the whole season, but having it this late in the season made me think that he's gonna die, and I wish that didn't happen. Because like, having watched so much TV as we've done, our whole lives, knowing that they add this
I don't know what you're talking about.
adding this little bit of, you know what, you should feel a little bit more for him because he's gonna be dead in 2 episodes. Because like, it feels like that, and it's such a big.
Now they just need to peacemaker it, fully commit to someone being an asshole, and
Exactly.
we'll rejoice.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like Tarka. I really invested in his story. They built it up very well until now. And that's the thing. I had too much expectations. Like, too many expectations. They tell me there's like some parallel universe, a scientist, a brilliant scientist, and then bring in somebody we never heard about. At least bring in somebody we know.
I
and we'll
expected
be like,
someone we knew, right? Like, I expected someone
same.
way more important.
Absolutely. Like a descendant of somebody, or like, I don't know. And
It was Data.
I mean, I like it was Data all along.
Are you
It's
saying they were
lore.
tarking up the wrong tree?
Wow.
I want to know what the
It's a
hell is
pun
going
he
on.
deserves.
So I like the story because I'm always here for interspecies love. Yes. Go
Just like it's
Discovery.
not forbidden here.
Saru and Tarina.
I may be a
Arisen,
Vulcan,
and-
but I know what love is.
Listen, we all know
Absolutely,
how
like,
many dicks a Klingon has.
that is
I
true.
shouldn't even need to know that as a lesbian, but here I am with that
But
knowledge.
you do.
So I like the fact that it gives him more depth, but it's too late. And they oversold it. They oversold
They
it
did.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make me wait 5 episodes to give me a story that in the end I don't really care, because I don't know the dude. I don't know who he is. I don't know his species. I don't know what he's talking about, and I don't know where you want to go. Why am I
Yeah.
invested in this? Why am I here? And by the way, we didn't speak about the ship that was cloaked and went away and nobody cared.
It was.
Like,
He said it
Bucky's
was
like,
just a carrier.
"Ah,
He just said it was
It's
couriers.
not so rich as a carrier. So they just put a ship cloak here. It's
I mean, it
Chekhov's
doesn't-
gun.
Or is it
Eh.
Klingons?
That doesn't really
Like,
bother me. I don't know.
Where
Yeah,
are the Klingons?
Where are the Klingons? That's true. At least make the scientist a Klingon. We would have all lost our mind. We'd be like,
No one's even asked. What about the Remans? Where are the Remans?
That's true.
Where are
Our
the
chat
Really?
asks every week. Let's be honest.
Lexi's been missing someone. Someone
Yes.
had to pick up the torch
Lexi.
and ask. So
I guess they're all that remains.
anybody else on
I don't feel
on
very
this?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Their interactions were good. The makeup on the guy, I really had to give a shout out in that, because Star Trek
Yeah.
does alien makeup so well in that, and this was just another example of that. I like the fact that it was confirmed for me that he was in there basically to spy on the guy at the end, and that he ended
Mhm.
he became friends with the guy, and possibly a lot more, because how do it's like his obsession with getting reconnecting with him in this mirror versus just beyond friendship. So let's all be honest about that.
I agree with what you're saying about the makeup, because like I'll look at how they do the alien makeup in the show and I'll be like, I get it. I get why some people want to fuck aliens.
Yeah. and if you love the makeup, if you've ever watched the series Face Off on Sci-Fi Channel, which is an awesome series, Glenn Hetrick and Neville Page do the makeup for Star Trek Discovery, and Glenn Hetrick was on the Ready Room with Will Wheaton today. So
And it's not the movie Face Off.
No, the series. Good point. Fair enough.
I
I'll
have
take
qualms
his
with that
face
movie, by the way.
off.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of qualms. Please.
The editing, they never show you how they get to the roof in that movie. Watch it. I swear to God, every time it happens, I'm like, how did they get to the roof? Why are they suddenly on the fucking roof?
Does he not
Where did
climb
that shot
stairs
go?
in the prison shots? No.
It breaks
Now
off
I
at
have
a
to watch
certain
it again.
point
I
where
love
it just
that
makes
movie.
no sense.
Speaking of breaking off from different points from the known universe to the unknown universe, it's the first time since Kirk and the Enterprise that we see a ship enter the Galactic Barrier. The first time the Enterprise goes through, they actually don't make it. They turn around because of explosions and Gary Mitchell. But Discovery does leave known space. How do you guys feel about the way that Discovery handled this?
I was fine with how they handled it because I have no clue of the other times that it happened. If I'm completely honest, like I don't recall, or I've never seen them. So I was like, oh, cool. It's like a bubble, and they got to get to another galaxy. Sci-fi. So meh.
It was all right. I mean, the bubbles were neat, I guess. I don't know. I expected to see more things in between, not just bubbles in like a stream. It didn't feel as tense as I thought it would be. Like
It wasn't like
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like when you know he's going through a black hole, and you're like,
they're going to a
"Ah!"
whole new like section of known, like unknown space. There should be something different, like totally like. It didn't seem.
I wanted
super
something.
crazy.
I wanted something super crazy, like in TNG,
Like the
you
koala?
know, with the Voyager,
Yeah.
like the Voyager
koala.
Traveler.
I want to see the koala between the two
Traveler.
universes.
When they go and that it's all like warped and like weird colors and stuff, and I was like, come
That was cool in
on,
season
bring the
1, yeah.
crazy, bring the crazy, just
Yeah,
bubbles.
Cisco really tries to be more grounded,
Even
even though they
got
leap forever in space and a
desaturated
baby cried.
in color.
They literally
Yeah.
they go through mushrooms to get around. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the whole
I-
thing, like, oh, we're 9 light years away and not 5. I was like, really? We need a scene about this? What are you doing, guys? Like, I don't
So
care.
much
Just pass the
exposition,
thing.
like unnecessary exposition.
I got you as close as I could.
Yeah,
The one thing I liked
I thought it was
was
fun.
the one thing that I liked was the change in color and how they mentioned that. I was like, okay, that's actually like out of all the cool visual effects outside, I thought the most basic, just changing the tone on the screen, was the coolest thing they did. I don't know. I dug that for whatever
They
reason.
went plaid,
Yeah, exactly.
ludicrous speed.
I like the fact that they treated it the Galactic Barrier almost like a living entity in that. So in a way, it would reminded me of Fantastic Voyage and that, catching like a blood cell on that just to make
We
make
needed
their
the white
journey
blood
faster.
cells to come after. I wanted to see something go after them.
Right?
When they were going
yeah,
through
that
the-
would have been neat.
The little
Like
blood
the
cells.
Langoliers eating time.
Oh, great episode.
A green hand.
Great movie
Langoliers.
or episode.
It's
Was
a
there an
TV movie of
TV
multiple
movie,
episodes, so
yeah.
you are correct.
Yeah.
It's just a koala just chasing them through space.
Exactly.
I watched that movie way too young, let me tell you.
Everyone did.
You're telling me,
Explains a lot.
everyone.
Whenever I rip paper, I think about it.
This is episode 10 of the show. As I mentioned, we're already dangerously close to the end. 3 episodes left. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like this episode just went nowhere. Are you guys concerned that we're getting another situation where the show just doesn't quite stick to landing? I know that we talked about this Hawk and Giraffe last week, but I feel like it needs to kind of be brought up again. There's 3 hours. It's not even full hours. They go like 45 minutes with these things. Is it enough?
I'm not concerned. I feel fine. I trust the writers. I think it's going to be fun. I think throughout the season, I've tried not to have theories or expectations, so I don't know if that's made it a different experience for me. Like, I'm just along for the ride at this point, just seeing where they go. But I do get, like, if, you want certain things to happen and then they don't, or you want them to happen at certain points, that it can be a bit of a letdown. But, I mean, most of the time when I watch shows, I'm watching them, like, just for the story, and then, like, I expect the finale to be great. Like, I don't expect singular episodes, and when they are, then they surprise me. Example, Peacemaker. That finale was bomb. So
Yes.
if this
I
can
will
outdo
not watch
Peacemaker,
it.
I'll be very pleased.
3 episodes left. I feel like I have an overwhelming sense that, especially after you told me that Bryce isn't coming back, that Disco is not going to come back to this section of space for a bit. If it's even like the beginning of next season or something, it just makes me feel like it's not going to fully end at the end of this season, and we're just going to be left off with something. And that, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I feel like the 10C reveal is going to happen, like, as the finale, and then it'll tie into something for next season. Like I don't think
they
this will be an open
better
and closed story.
fucking
Yeah.
not do that.
Well, that's what
Yeah, I agree.
Since they said there was an entity controlling the DMA, I was like, okay, then the big reveal is going to be probably in the finale. Like that's just what I feel, but I could be wrong.
You could
find out
take what you want.
No,
from
you're
this.
most probably right.
You could take what you want from this. I believe that Mary Wiseman said that the finale will be satisfying. So take what you will from that. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't
It'll be
like
Klingons or
I don't
something.
like the sound of like it's satisfying. I don't want my Trek to be satisfying. I want it to be
Blow your socks off.
awesome.
Raph, we know you
Yeah.
read AO3, so satisfying is not enough.
Exactly. I want a higher rating.
Yeah, you want slice,
Zandara on
you want
Twitch is also
finesse.
saying Michelle Paradise said that they're going to wrap up 10C this season.
Okay,
So
cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then
but
they'll
okay,
show them at
then
the end.
okay, wait. That's freaking me out. That means that they're gonna show them in like these last 3 episodes, and then it's done. Like that means there's nobody. You know that's what they're gonna do.
Or
I
is the name of the species actually Tensi altogether, and it's just 10C? So we knew all along what the name was. How's that for
Well-
a theory, Giraffe?
and I just want to say that Disco has a problem with their finale. Let's be honest. I do not remember finale of season 1. What happens in
Oh, I remember.
season 1?
It wasn't good.
It's
It all
bad,
gets
right?
wrapped up in a pretty bow.
Yeah, it was bad. That's why I forgot that. Season 2 had me bawling. I could not.
Yeah, I
like,
was crying the whole
love
season.
such
Grace. Yep.
sweet sorrow is a piece of art. I love it. I
Yep.
cry every time I watch it. Season 3 was stupid.
I didn't mind it.
Like I remember watching it and being like, just shoot the kid, shoot the kid, shoot the kid, kill it with fire.
I would have been
Allison.
totally fine with that.
Nah.
Face
Saru needed it for his character
ass.
development. Last season was
he
all
was in
about
one
Saru.
episode, Brittany. He was in one episode.
one
but I was saying-
episode.
It
Oh,
was
you were
about
saying Saru.
Saru's-
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Saru's whole. It was all about
Okay.
him. That's the
Like,
last
I
part
was-
of that season.
I was ready for it to be like to go the Janeway, you know, like just blow it up. Let's never
Yeah.
talk about it again.
Yep.
And now I'm very worried for season 4 because these odds are not good.
I actually think that the best news to come out of season 5 is that season 5 is going to be 10 episodes, which means they have
Nice.
no time
Thank
for fillers. If you're going to do this type of episodic storytelling where you're not doing 26 episode Trek, 10 episodes is just fine. Shit, 8 episodes is fine.
6 or 10, in between 6
6 to
and
10 is a yeah, that's the Goldilocks zone. Hawk, did you have anything on this? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't worried until I sat down and talked with all of you guys tonight. But now I'm getting a very familiar feeling from previous seasons we reviewed and that. You know,
Fox,
it's
like you guys catastrophize so much, I'm getting catastrophizing.
it's a big job that they have in that. And it might not be a satisfying conclusion. Hopefully we get a season 2 finale.
That would be nice.
We might end up with a season 3 finale. I'm gonna take Brittany's attitude in that. I have no expectations. I'm just along for the ride.
Listen, I'm just happy when sci-fi shows get another season, okay? I've been through a lot in life with sci-fi tanking some of my favorite shows. So like at the end of the day, it's space fiction. We're watching shit that is just completely out of this
Bring back
world, so-
Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah, okay.
Bring back Firefly.
Aren't they
I was
working
hoping
on a
no
new
one would
Stargate
say
project?
Firefly.
Stargate
They
Ancients?
are working on a new Stargate project.
Hopefully
There are
it'll be better
episodes
than
written.
At the end
Stargate
of the day-
Origins.
Even if the finale doesn't live up to our expectations, if we're getting at least a few more seasons, if we reach season 7, I'll be happy, no matter what they did, as long as they don't kill Burnham or something.
Kara said something very important, like speaking about short tracks. Didn't they say they would like link up Calypso in season 4?
They still could. They still
I don't
could,
know
and
if
they
it
kind
was
of already
promised.
have with Zora becoming sentient. So
Yeah. But I that's true. Thank you for reminding that. Like guys, like
alternate discovery is the 10C.
Multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if they go through and it turns out the Federation on this side sends out mining equipment because we're not evil, but we're just misunderstood.
Guys, finally, let's talk about Michael's moment with the president in this episode. Obviously, President Rillick decides to join the crew and go on this mission, which I do understand. I know Giraffe, we're a little bit disagreeing on this. I actually thought it was good for her to come. I liked it. I thought it gave me like hardcore President Rosalind vibes. I liked how Rosalind was always involved with everything in Battlestar, and I really liked this. But how did you guys feel about their tension, and then finally at the end coming together to make this kind of bleak announcement to the crew?
I like that it mirrored the first time they worked together, and then this time it was more amicable at the end. Like it was a good show of where the relationship had started to where it was now. Where it
felt
ended up.
like bookends.
Yeah. Book.
That actually
ends?
wasn't a pun, but I guess that could also be a pun. I was like book and yeah.
We can't trust anything you say anymore. It's always a pun.
Yeah, like I could have probably done without some of the tension, but
yeah, but it was fine. Like I thought it was nice to see them working together, even though they have different views. They all came together in a big happy space family, I guess. I don't know.
But in a sad, like, all these planes are gonna probably blow up way. Ooh, ooh. Like it's like, oh god. Oh whoa.
It was nice to
hell
see
no.
that, Michael didn't feel the need to have to undercut her and that over the decision to inform the crew, and that at the end they both amicably came to the same decision.
Yeah. And I like that.
Again.
Yeah.
You can complain again.
You liked what? Go ahead. What did you like?
I was gonna say I
will
really like that Michael let her do it instead of them both doing it. I thought it was important to have the head of state make the big announcement and exude confidence. Not that Michael can exude confidence because she's damn good at confidence, but it was cool to see the president do it.
So I want a gif of that moment that Giraffe just had, of where you're like, "Go ahead, what did you like? Okay, come on," and then. Go ahead, Giraffe. Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you. It was just too perfect.
So it gave me like Voyager vibe, where like they just pack all the most important people in a shuttle and shoot them into something dangerous. I was like, why do you have all the president of the Federation, like Nivar, and like everybody on that ship going somewhere you don't know where, with a bunch of people that are 900 years old, by the way, like.
This is how they're going to turn the Disco into the Enterprise D, and they're going to have kids and running around, and Burnham's going to hate all the children. It's that whole thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes diplomacy is just putting everyone into one life raft and just,
So especially when like Tarina showed up and they're like, oh, our guys was not here. So I was like, what is... Okay, whatever. I was down. Like I was still, okay, I see what you're doing. But then they're like, oh,
I mean,
no.
Saru was also down.
Yeah, he was down to clown.
Do that. And then they're like, oh, the DMA moved to the Alpha Quadrant. I was like, get out of here. Get. We
I
don't.
know.
It was not needed.
Nope.
And then they're like, oh, we need to do the announcement to the crew. It's such like manufactured bullshit. Like they would have done this. No, they would have gone without
the DMA moving to the Alpha Quadrant is manufactured bullshit.
Yeah. It's like they would have done all this without having that like stress, and I don't think it added anything to the episode. Like everybody now is like, oh no, maybe they're gonna blow up Vulcan again. Like it was not necessary
like, no,
at all.
Not. No, you're not
at all.
Yep.
The thing is, like, now that it's in the Alpha Quadrant, it better something better happen, because you just move it there for what? For everybody to be like, ooh, I have anxiety? No.
Yeah.
So, like,
I think that's exactly why they put it there, is because like, hey, you haven't seen the DMA in a while. Ooh, now it's close to home, literally. So that way you're like, hurry up, Burnham, hurry up, go save the day, come on. Even though you know in your heart, you're like, she's not going to let Earth blow up. She's not going to let Nivar blow up, hopefully, even though her mom's not there, and they made a point to tell you her mom's not there.
Yeah, that's what freaked me out.
That was the only moment where I had a flicker of concern, where I was like, they wouldn't.
Like, wait, think about it. Tarina is on board of Discovery.
Yeah.
They have to say that the mom is not on Nivar. And you're like, oh, you're totally blowing up the planet again. What is that hate about? Like, what is this?
How many hours?
Maybe it's just to psych us out.
How many hours did they say they had before the DMCA?
They said they had a few
12
days.
hours. 12 hours, no?
I thought it was 70.
No, it was 71. It was 71 hours. Yeah.
So the next 3 episodes are happening in those 71 hours?
Exactly.
Oh.
We're feeling it in real time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
We're fine.
Why are you doing this to me? I'm suffering.
I hope it's like
hurting.
I hope it crushes Titan and it's like this close to Nivar, and then they stop it and it's like.
It's gonna be like 24 with the beeping clock. at the commercial barracks. Beep.
I'm gonna read SMK's comment here. I don't know how much I necessarily agree with it, but I love how Discovery is doing a good job of being Trek for the 2020s. In the 1960s, we needed a vision of post-war international and interracial cooperation. In the 2020s, we need a vision of compassion, understanding, and interpersonal connection.
I mean, I agree with that.
Yep.
Because watch, the Tensi aren't going to end up actually being big bads. It's going to be something where like
We had that last season. Star Trek. I see. I disagree about that. Like last season, the burn, and I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
What if they thought our space was
yeah,
uninhabited?
but like Red Angel was
Something
like
like
the
that.
same
Oh.
thing.
Don't
Red
even
Angel-
hire
No,
me.
the
I
villain
have
was
better
was
ideas.
Section 31 in Control.
Yeah, I know Control, but
True.
then Control ended up not really being a problem anyway. They took care of that.
Yeah, which is what you do with a big bad.
Think
Right?
about it. Think about
bad
it.
kind of
If
evolved.
in season 3, if it was Nivar that had just fuck up, it would have been such a better story.
I totally agree.
See, I think this is where we connect this season with Picard, is because 10C is going to be the Q continuum, and then we're going to see that Picard has joined them. There you go.
Ooh,
Ta-da.
interesting.
Ooh.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
The Kelvin
Let's,
verse.
let's.
I guess we'll have to wait and to see what's happened. What's gonna
You should
happen.
have been a mailbag, but I only finished the episode 15 minutes ago. Fair. That's good. But we got to read your comment live, so I'm happy that we did. Let's rate this one out of 10 orange ball pieces of plot armor. Let's go in the order at the top of the show. Brittany, you're up.
Dramatic pause.
thinking.
What is happening?
I didn't.
I can go if you
I
want.
just.
like-
I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't think of my rating. Can you go first?
Yeah, I'll go.
Eric, go ahead.
I got to stew on it.
I'm going to give this a 7. It was a moving pieces episode. I didn't really
well, now
love
I
it.
don't feel bad.
But I understand where they're going, unfortunately. But it wasn't a great episode. Yeah.
And no Jet Reno.
No, Jet Reno. Down to 5. No, I'm just joking. 7.
Whoa.
So.
Okay, then I feel good about mine because I wanted to say 7, but I was like, I feel like everyone's gonna hate me for saying 7 because they're gonna be like, that's too high.
Oh, I think everybody's on board with you on this episode.
Okay, yeah. I feel like 7. Like, really good episodes to me are like 8 through 10. Like, you know, I usually give episodes 10 unless I really have an issue with them. So like, yeah, it's one of the weaker episodes of Disco, but like, I get why they did it. It's just kind of like, damn. Can we see the finale already?
Yeah. If it was a whole
Yeah.
episode about Tarka, like the whole episode was, I would have probably given it an 8 because I liked his whole
Yeah.
backstory. And seeing more of
Fair.
that,
Yeah.
I would have liked even more than just watching this episode.
They could have
Yeah.
harkened back to more of his past.
Oh, jeez. Giraffe.
I'm gonna give it a 5. You name an episode, The Galactic Barrier. You've been talking about it for so long. You tell
So
me about
long.
a scientist
So
that
long.
come from another universe, and you basically let me down. It's like you teasing, and you give
Yep.
me nothing. 5 for the actors, the editors, the music, the FX, all the people that work there. Not the story.
See, now I'm gonna feel bad for my rating because
He's
you're
like,
like the
"What?"
actors, the editing, the. Hawk, go ahead.
Oh man, I was gonna do an 8.5, but I don't
Do
think
it, Hawk.
Giraffe,
Do
I
what's
don't
in
think
your
Giraffe
heart.
is gonna
Do
speak
you,
to me
Hawk?
after. Yeah. All right,
You'll
I'm gonna
balance each other out.
go an 8. This was, I actually enjoyed what was happening in this episode. I know it was a placeholder. I know there was plot armors and that. Even still, there was something there, emotionally for me.
Yeah, I feel like when the world's on the brink of like World War III, sometimes you just need to not think for 45 minutes. That's how I felt. I don't know.
Fair. Before I go, Haven says, minus the whole Saru and Tarina love story, Friend Zone, I love this episode, but the problem is it lowered the quality of the entire episode. Like it, if the episode didn't have it, I'd rate it an 8.59, but with it, it's probably a 6. And I think that's actually the only rating we have. I'll read the diary she wrote. Would I choose to rewatch this episode a lot? Probably not, but I didn't hate it. And I think that's
SMK wrote, man, I'm the odd duck with
Thank you.
Hawk. This was an 8 to 9 for me.
Nice.
nice. Good stuff.
Good job, Smick.
Yeah. All right, team. I'm gonna be the absolute bad guy this week.
Oh boy.
We're gonna be the 10C.
Whoa.
Eh.
Worse than
Lady
me?
Tarka?
When I tell you this is one of my least favorite episodes of Discovery, it really is. I just left very really at the end of it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Whoa!
I was expecting a 1 from you. man.
No.
Like,
I
it really made me think you're gonna be like, this is a 0.
I really disliked this episode. I will say exactly what Giraffe said though. Like, there's still moments that I enjoy, and the music and the editing and all of that stuff is great. It just did nothing for me in the slightest. So
Did Chad edit this one?
Chad did edit this one, and we're
feel like
eventually
you
going
can
to
always
talk to
tell
him.
when
He
Chad
finally
edits.
reached out to us, so we're gonna chat with him
Reach out,
sometime
touch
soon.
base.
So that's exciting
Did it
news.
touch-
All right, guys. Let's see what the Twitterverse thought about this. It is time for the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
All right, pun master Mick Borg Queen.
Mick Borg Queen, I love it.
Mick Borg Queen.
Okie dokie. We asked you how much you liked this episode, and you told us it was intergalactic. Wow.
Intergalactic.
It was 45.7%
planetary.
of you that said that. Yeah, right? Intergalactic. 19.6% of you, which is oddly specific, said it was by the book. That was me pushing up my glasses, by the way.
Yeah.
Being fancy. I was like my monocle, my little... 15.2% of you said too large a barrier. So, couldn't quite break through to your heart. I was just right for this. And then 19.6% said shields are failing, which is ironic because the shields were at a lower percentage than that.
That's true. They were almost gone. Yep.
They said, "Oh, whoa, can you go?" And they just kept going lower.
Can you go? Cool. Who wants mailbags? There's only 2 this week. Who wants
I'll read one if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, Hawk.
Okay, so Haven wrote, "It's been a long road for Star Trek Discovery, and from there to here." And with the replicated combat is going from as far back as Enterprise and moving forward in time, getting from there to here,
Yeah, there it is.
with having the throwback to Star Trek First Contact as well as Enterprise Carbon Creek. It's been a long time to get where we are. You are really just quoting Faith of the Heart, aren't you here?
Yeah. I think you were supposed to sing that all.
Do it.
It's
No,
been
it's
a
it,
long
sing it, sing
time
it.
to get where we are. But today's episode reminds me of why I love Trek so much. To quote our favorite space dad, "I probably worry too much. Fair warning, I will always reach for you if it seems you're hurting."
I love that line.
Love that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. With everything that has been going on in my personal life, I can honestly say that Strange New Crew is some of the best crew, who I used to always say is the best podcast crew this side of the Delta Quadrant, but I am happy to say that the Strange New Crew is the best crew this side of the Galactic Barrier.
That's saying
That's
something.
right.
Yeah.
All you other podcasts out there, you're on the other side of the barrier.
Yeah, we got the
Ain't even
orange
here.
balls.
You're the 10C. 10C you later. I need a nap, guys.
Me too.
I ate like a handful of Cheetos before we began. Like I'm just on.
Which I thought were carrots.
And we thought it was carrots,
You
yeah.
should keep eating them. It's fine.
I
I
ate
was
them
going to
very
compliment you on how healthy you were being.
I've been healthy, but by the time Julian finished the music and was like, "Welcome," I was like a squirrel.
Nom.
I'm pretty sure the audience saw me be like,
We haven't
the
even
last
let
two.
Hawk read the last line of this yet, I don't
Sorry.
think.
To finish off, I never liked the Federation president, but today I am happy to say that today that changed for me.
Nice.
I want to do Butch
Who-
Pew.
Do it, hit
Butch
it.
Pew wrote, "Thoughts on this
Read it in a French
episode?"
accent.
Butch, thoughts on this episode are mixed. No, I don't want to do really
Now
bad.
you're just
That
going
was
bad
like
Jean-Luc
Russian.
Picard
Yeah,
French.
sorry, I've been dealing with both
okay.
a convoy and then the Ukrainian thing, which is
You're
not
good.
fun.
You can read it normal.
No, I'm going to do a mixed accent with all sorts of, we'll put a little bit of bad Asian in there. Really enjoyed the action on the ship, the interaction of the crew, and their efforts to navigate things they had never encountered before. The stakes were exponentially multiplied, taking the threat to Earth and Navarre. The tension drama was ratcheted up as well. Michael and the president had a lot of fairly intense emotion to get through. All in all, I thought this side of the story well played out. Target's story, nothing good to say about this. Oh, I was bored whenever it took up space and couldn't wait for the relevant story to come back. I kept wondering why we were wasting time with this when there was so much more important story going on elsewhere. It's because he's going to die. 5 out of 5 for the good part, and 1 out of 5 out of respect for Book. So 6 out of 10.
Damn, Bush LePew gave them the people's elbow. It was like,
He did. I love it.
LePew.
Oh, I love it. Oh man. Listen, 3 episodes left to wow me.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yabbies, baby.
All right, folks. It's a big one next week. You're gonna have a lot of content coming up, not only with next week's show, but just this entire week. The next time you see us live will be this Wednesday as we close out Captain Picard week. We'll be doing our look back at season 1. For a review of Discovery 411. So I just saw something before we started recording, hinting that this episode might be coming out on Wednesday. So Picard has Thursday. I'll let you know if that's true or not. I don't have that confirmed. Either way, if that's the case, we're going to be pre-recording our episode of 411. That'll drop Friday morning. Okay. So just be ready for that. Or Thursday around noon. I'm sorry, not Friday, Thursday around noon. Then Thursday night, we're back live with our review of the Picard season 2 premiere, The Stargazer. With that, I want to say happy Captain Picard week, everyone. More awesome content coming your way tomorrow. Giraffe, go ahead.
I'm live on Sunday morning with the prominent merchants.
That's right. You are indeed.
Nice,
And then
have
I'm gonna wake up early.
that's going to be
7
fun.
a.m.
Yay!
Oh, yay!
So tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., come back to Twitch for Trek Central's Captain Picard Week special, and then tomorrow evening for Antimatter Pod. And then right after this podcast wraps, at the top of the hour, join us for our continuation of our Picard Season 1 rewatch with Absolute Candor. Good episode. That's going to do it, everyone. For Hawk, for Giraffe, for Eric, for Brittany, I'm Julian. I say to you, live long and prosper. Let me do that again because I hit the wrong fucking button.
What the hell is going on?
He does. I want to know what the hell is going on. Why did I think that button is here? I think that's for the other podcast. Let me do that again. So for Hawk, for Giraffe, for Eric, for Brittany, I'm Julian. I say to you, live long and prosper. Majram.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.